What is up, everybody? Chris, the old-ass retro gamer here, back with another video game collection live stream. Today I'm going to be talking about the first half of my Xbox 360 collection. It's a pretty decent collection. Hang on a second, I think my volume is a little too low. Yeah, there's a motorcycle out back. It's a pretty decent collection that I have. It's really front of the alphabet heavy. When I was going through the games that I have today, when I grabbed what is the first half of my collection, I noticed that the first half of my collection ends at the letter J. That's like, what, 10 letters into the alphabet? So yes, my collection is very front of the alphabet heavy. I think it's kind of funny. Now I'm like, oh, do I need to start buying more games that start with the letter S or M or Y or something like that? It's kind of funny to me. But why do I do these live streams? I bring this up every time I do one of these. It's not to brag. It's not to like show off all these games and be like, look what I have and you don't. It's nothing like that. I do it because it's good to have a visual record of everything that I have in my collection. When you have a collection as big as mine, you know, something bad could happen, like a fire or I get robbed or something. I need to have proof that I actually did have these games in my collection, you know, for like insurance purposes. So it's good to have a visual record of all this kind of stuff. What's up, Stubby? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. So this is a good idea. Plus, it's extra content for the channel. I've been kind of lazy on doing the edited content lately, so this helps keep the channel alive when I'm not doing that kind of thing, because I've got so much other kind of stuff going on right now. I don't really have time to do edited stuff, even though I have a lot of it ready to go. I just haven't edited it together because editing takes time. What's up, TJ? How's it going? Don't worry, I'm still making edited content. There's definitely going to be a video coming out in a couple of weeks about what I'm looking for at the Midwest Gaming Classic this year, which has not been canceled due to the plague. Thankfully, there was a notice sent out yesterday, I do believe, that they don't think that that's going to be much of an issue. It's not like an international event. So it's still on, and I'm glad that it is, because I need this in my life right now. I really do. I need to hang out with all of my buddies and do a little retail therapy. I'm glad that they haven't. Like I said, I really need it. So really looking forward to it. Gonna have a lot of content. Still have a panel this year at the convention. I'm on with Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming, Musty Hobbit, The Game Grinder, Captain Algebra, Rising Blue Phoenix, and J-Love 81. It's gonna be awesome. We have an online meeting planned for next week. It's gonna be great. So anyway, let's get to the games. So Xbox 360 was when I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait a year. No toilet paper. I don't understand the toilet paper thing. It's the flu. What is it? What did they say? Like 10,000 people have died of the standard flu, the regular everyday flu people get in 2019. 10,000 people died. 11 have died from coronavirus. And I saw a video today from some guy who contracted it and recovered from it. And he said he's actually had worse flus in his life. So people are making a big stink over nothing. Just wash your hands, people. Just please. Anyway, back to the game. So, I was hearing stories about like the Xbox 360s not working when, you know, right out of the box. Like they were crashing and there's that red ring of death thing. And I was hearing all these stories. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a year. Let them work the issues out before I drop any cash on it. And I did. It came out in, 2006, and I didn't buy it until, I want to say, either February or March of 2007. And I'm glad that I did, because there was more games out there. I think that Microsoft worked out a few of the kinks, even though I did get Red Rings of Death twice. But I did enjoy it. The only problem was when I first got my Xbox, I did not have an HD TV. I had a standard CRT. And one of the games that I picked up was Dead Rising. And the font for everything that would show up on screen, like text, was so small and detailed, my TV just couldn't handle it. I couldn't read anything that was going on in the game. So Not too long after that, I bought my first HD TV, and all was right in the world. So let's get into these games. Like I said, it's a pretty decent-sized collection. That's why I had to split the video into two. And I also mentioned that my collection is very front of the alphabet heavy. Like I said, this is the first half of my collection, and the first half ends at the letter J. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. First game I got here is 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. Picked this up for like $1 or $2 at half-price books. I had always heard that these games actually weren't that bad. There's another one I think that came out for the OG Xbox, and I think there's a sequel to this or something like that. But it's like playing Grand Theft Auto with the 50 Cent license. I don't hate 50 Cent. I think he's kind of cool, so why not? It sounded kind of neat. So I picked it up. I have not had a chance to play it yet. I should probably bunch all these together, but this is like one of the ones that has like a different name. So we got AC/DC Live, the Rock Band track pack. I'm a huge Rock Band fan. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I had Rock Band parties like once a month for almost a year. It was great. I loved it. And I wanted to get these track packs. You could download them also, I do believe, but I wanted the physical version just in case I lost my data on my Xbox, like the hard drive gave out or something. So I wanted to get them all in physical form. So I picked this one up at a GameStop for I think $1. So there's a few more I need to get. I need to get like a couple of the country ones, even though I hate country music. I want to have them just to have them. There's a couple of other compilation discs out there. So yeah, there's that. But I like AC/DC. I think they're pretty neat. Got this one not too long ago. Ace Combat 6 Fires of Liberation. This franchise is still going. I just bought Part 7 for the PS4 because it's in VR, and I still have to play it yet. That scares me. I don't get sick when I play VR, but I have a feeling that that's going to be the one that does it. So the last thing I want to be doing is horking chunks across my living room because I'm doing a barrel roll or something in a game. But anyway, Ace Combat 6. It's another flight sim combat game. And I really love this genre. I think it's fantastic. Anything that's Wing Commander-esque is okay with me. These are more arcadey than sim, which is fun. What's up, Musty? How's it going? So I'm all over that one. Rock Band beats Guitar. Yeah, I had Guitar Hero when it first came out. I bought it for the PS2, and it was fun. But when Rock Band was announced, and you're going to get the guitar, you're going to sing, you get a drum kit, it just like blew my mind. So yeah, I had just moved into a new apartment, and a bunch of people at work who I never talked to, or actually it's more like they never talked to me, never acknowledged my existence, found out about it and started asking me if I was ever going to have a party, and if I was, to please invite them. So I was like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? Make some new friends. And sure enough, like 12 people showed up at my dinky little apartment for a Rock Band party. Everyone's getting drunk on like Busch Light and stuff. I think they went through, I don't like beer, so like they went through like 3 cases of Busch Light, and it just like floored me. I was like, I cannot believe this. And yeah, it was great. I had Rock Band parties for months and months. I had a Rock Band party when I first moved into this apartment, and it lasted until like 3 a.m. I had all the windows open. We're blasting that shit. There's no padding. I don't have carpeting in my apartment. It's all hardwood flooring. So like whenever somebody would hit the pedal on the drum kit, I mean, I'm guaranteeing that it sounded like someone was beating someone to death up here to the apartment beneath me. So I felt bad. Nobody really complained. The only time I ever got a complaint about Rock Band was one Sunday morning by myself. I was like, I feel like playing some drums today. And like it was 8 a.m. and I played it for 5 minutes, and my downstairs neighbor came up and he's like, can you not play Rock Band like right now? We're trying to sleep, please. I was like, today of all the days, not when I was playing until 3 a.m., but today. Anyway, back to the games. Afro Samurai. I got this at I think a half-price books for about $5, and it's based on a pretty cool cartoon. I can't remember if this was on Cartoon Network or TBS or something. Sam Jackson was the voice of the main character and his sidekick, because his sidekick is in his mind because Afro Samurai is crazy. And I still haven't played it yet. Everyone tells me it's absolute trash, but I love the licensed games, so I said, why not? It's a fun game to add to the collection. I don't remember what convinced me to buy this. I don't remember if it was somebody or something I read, but whatever. Akai Katana. It's a bullet hell shooter, and I wasn't really a fan. I like shooters or shmups. Not a fan of the bullet hell ones, except for maybe Ikaruga, because of the whole flip your ship mechanic thing. But I got into them after I bought Death Smiles, which is a game you'll see coming up pretty soon. And yeah, I picked this one up, I think off of eBay or something like that, pretty cheap. So I wanted to have it because it's, what is this, a cave shooter? Yeah, cave shooter. Everyone was talking cave shooters for a while, so I said, why not? Hated the camera? Boobies. Yeah, I still haven't played it. I mean, I will. It's on my list for my backlog roulette, the Afro Samurai, because I want to play it. One of my favorite games on this console from this generation, it's Alan Wake. I'm a huge fan of Remedy, developer, and Alan Wake is just fantastic. Played the crap out of this. I called out of work not once but twice just so I could beat the game. I got so into it. There's still some plastic on top of here. That's kind of funny that it's had this game since it came out, and I still had plastic residue on here from the wrapper. Anyway, yeah, I wanted it too, but I didn't want to pay for it. But maybe I'll look for it at the Midwest Gaming Classic. But anyway, it's a third-person action game, or a horror game. Horror action, I guess. You're a writer, you go back to, I don't remember if it was like your hometown or whatever, or you go on vacation to like out in the middle of nowhere, and like things from your book start coming to life in reality. Your wife goes missing, and the only way you can defeat the enemies is you can damage them with light, so like your flashlight is your weapon, and it weakens the enemies to the point where you can shoot them with a gun and actually kill them. And it's a real twisted story. It's kind of told like a television show, where you finish a chapter in the game, and then when you start the next chapter, it'll be like last time on Alan Wake, and you'll get like a recap. It was really cool the way they did it. There's a couple of DLC patches for this. One was called American Nightmare that I played through, and I think there was a second one that I never did get around to playing. But I absolutely loved this game. This is like one of my favorite like horror games of all time. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. Okay, so everybody hates this game. I don't, because everyone says like, oh, there were so many promises and none of them were kept. Everybody like they lied to us, and that's why this game is crap. I don't care. I did not follow the development of this game. I did not care. I was just like, when it comes out, I'll buy it, and that'll be that. And it's based on a license which I absolutely love, so there was absolutely no reason why I was not going to buy this when it first came out, but I also do not want my games spoiled for me, so I was not paying any attention to the build-up. So Aliens Colonial Marines. I actually bought the gigantic, like, limited edition version that came with, like, a document pouch and, like, a maquette of, there's a Marine inside of a power loader, like fighting an alien. I have it in my other room. I threw out the big box, which was stupid, I know, but I didn't have room for something that big, because, believe me, that was a huge-ass box. But, like, everyone was talking about how much this game is garbage because it didn't live up to the promise that was being made by, what is it, Gearbox or whatever. Like I said, I wasn't paying attention to any of that. So I rented it to see what it was like. And yes, it does feel a little bit like a last-gen first-person shooter. You know, like, so this is the, you know, it felt like an Xbox first-person shooter. I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually developed to be released on the original Xbox and then just got an upgrade for the 360. Yeah, that was the only issue I really had with it, but it was fun. It's a first-person shooter. I don't care. I just want to blow up aliens with a shotgun. And all the little nods to the movies is great. Like, I remember I found Hicks, the shotgun that belonged to Hicks in Aliens at one point, and like all the little collectibles and stuff. I was loving it. So I don't see what the big deal is. It's a first-person shooter based on aliens. What did you expect it was going to be? It's a licensed game. I had a good time playing it. Me too, Stubby, me too. I don't see what the big deal is about that game. I really don't. It's like everyone felt like they had gotten stabbed in the back over something, and I was just like, it's a video game. I like it. Then there's this Alien vs. Predator game, which I have not played it, but I think this is a first-person shooter as well, which means I need to play it immediately. Have not played it. I got this at half-price books for about $20, and I was like, hey, Alien vs. Predator, because I love Alien, I love Predator, put the two together, and it's magic, so had to play, or had to get it, have yet to play it. Everyone keeps on telling me that this is a strategy game, and I'm like, no, that's the one that's available on the OG Xbox. So, everyone hook up, co-op hookup? Yeah, definitely, Stubby. Only thing is, I need an Xbox that works. The reboot of Alone in the Dark, everyone says this game is absolute garbage. I have not played it yet, so I cannot comment. Then again, I have not played a whole lot of Alone in the Dark games anyway, so I really wouldn't be able to judge it on if it was like faithful to the franchise or not. I do own the first game, the original game for the 3DO. Played it for about 20 minutes, and I was like, this is really slow. But I always said I was going to go back and play through it, which I have not done yet because that's the way I operate. So I wanted to have this just in case. If I don't like that, maybe I'll like the reboot. I don't know. But everyone complains about how poopy it is, and it's nothing like Alone in the Dark. Well, you know what? It can't be any worse than the movie that was made on it. So, eat that. This is awesome. Alpha Protocol. I like it. Like the subtitle makes me laugh. The espionage RPG. It's a, how do you describe it? Kind of reminds me of like what a Deus Ex game is like. I watched somebody else play this for a little while, and that was when I said I need to have it. And then I saw, I think, Metal Jesus talk about this in like one of his Xbox 360 Hidden Gems videos, and I was like, oh yeah, I have that game. I remember watching, I think it was my friend Gary play this. I was like, I need that. And yeah, still haven't played it. It looks rad though. Okay, so we got a big-ass franchise here, people. Big-ass franchise. All right. And I've only played maybe an hour and a half of the first game, but I do own all the games in the series, so when I finally do get around to playing this, it's going to go down. All of them are going to go down. So Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, this is the GameStop edition. I don't know what's different about it. Whatever. And Assassin's Creed Rogue Limited Edition. Third-person action stealth, beat-em-up type things, I guess. Like I said, I only played maybe an hour and a half worth of the original game. I love the fact that Kristen Bell is a voice in it, because I've had a crush on Kristen Bell ever since I saw the first episode of Veronica Mars. And I liked the gameplay. I liked what was going on in it. I liked the story. It's just like, played it for an hour and a half, and then I got distracted by something else, and I never went back to it. And I kept on saying, oh, I got to go back and play that Assassin's Creed, and it just never happened. And I'm kind of ashamed because everyone tells me these games are pretty good, except I think a lot of people complain about Part 2 being kind of poopy. But whatever, I will eventually get around to playing through all these games. It's going to happen. When? I can't say. But it's going to happen. I did a bad licensed game collaboration on my channel years ago, and this game got brought up, and the funny thing was, I had just bought this game at Half Price Books, and like 2 days later, I got the video from one of the people that was in the collaboration where they talked about how much they didn't like the game, and I was like, oh, that's fantastic. But I didn't care. It's a licensed game. I wanted it. Avatar, the game, based on the James Cameron film. It's not bad. Dragoon Loggy was the one who said... She said she doesn't play many licensed games. This was the only one she could think of that she really didn't enjoy all that much, which is why she picked it. She said it's not, like, terrible, but it could have been a hell of a lot better. But it's okay. It's a third-person action game. There's some flying stuff in it when you're on the dragon thingies. I can't remember what they were called. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. But it's all right. It's not the greatest thing ever, but I can't complain. I mean, it's a licensed game. What do you expect? Got this from Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming. We did like a big trade, and he had gotten like this big lot of games, and a lot of them were duplicates that he was planning on trading off, and I traded him a bunch of stuff, and he gave me Avatar, The Last Airbender, The Burning Earth. I've always wanted to play at least one of these Avatar, The Last Airbender games, because I'm a huge fan of the cartoon. The movie was garbage. But yeah, this is the only Avatar game I currently have in my collection, and I've always wanted to try at least one of them. And I played it, and it is not the greatest. It's okay. Could have been a hell of a lot better. I don't think they used the license as well as they could have. So, there's that. I do own this on the Rare Replay for the Xbox One, but I do want like the individual games from that compilation because I'm a huge fan of Rare. It's my favorite developer. So, Banjo... excuse me. Banjo, Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. Yeah, it's a Rare joint. But this is also the Rare that's owned by Microsoft, and they don't do things quite the way they used to, which is very sad. Banjo-Kazooie on the N64, they were collectathon games and platformers. So this is not. This is more like a racing game, I think, yes, where you build racing car things or whatever vehicles, and you race them, and that's Not Banjo Kazooie. Don't understand what the thought process behind that was. Picked this one up on eBay. It was like right when I got back into collecting. I remember actually me and my family. It was my mother, my brother, and my mother driving to Ohio for my father's funeral. And on the way there, I was bored in the car, so I just started putzing around on my phone on eBay, and I found a copy of a Battle Fantasia, which is a one-on-one fighting game that's very anime inspired. Reminds me a lot of a Guilty Gear game. And it's actually pretty fun. Its Arc system works, so you know it's going to have the crazy animation and fight stylings and all that kind of stuff. So had to have that. Got it for like a whopping $6. And my throat's going dry. Whew. I was living off that Gatorade when I had the flu a few weeks back. Here's another Rock Band expansion pack. The Beatles Rock Band. This was like almost like a separate game in itself. They actually released like an instrument kit collection that all the instruments were modeled after what the Beatles used to use. There was like, you know, McCartney's guitar and one based off of Lennon's guitar and all that. It's crazy. I'm a huge Beatles fan. I mean, well, maybe not huge. I'm a big Beatles fan. I really do like them. There are a bunch of songs of theirs and I'm like, eh. But the concept, playing Beatles games in a party situation, sounded really, really cool to me. And who doesn't know, like, half the songs that they came up with over the years? You know, probably won't need to read the lyrics when you're singing and when you're playing these songs in the game. So, yeah, I really wanted to get this. And, yeah, we played it a couple times during the parties, and it went over really well. And pretty glad that I bought it. That was like when Rock Band was like at its peak popularity when that came out. Beautiful Katamari. I have not played this particular one yet. I want to say this is part 2 or 3 in the series. I'm not sure. But I love the Katamari Damacy games. I think they're super fun and weird and creative and goofy and make me laugh. So, had to have that. Picked this up because licensed games, and I like the movie that this is based on. Beowulf, the game. I really enjoyed this CG animated version of Beowulf. There's another movie that came out around the exact same time that the movie that this one is based on came out, called Beowulf and Grendel. It had Gerard Butler in it. Oh my God, was that bad. So I was not particularly looking forward to this, and then a bunch of friends and I went and saw it in IMAX 3D, and I was blown away by it. So, absolutely had to have it. It's just a 3D beat-em-up. Can't complain. I like me a 3D beat-em-up. Pretty uncommon game, Battle Fantasia. Oh, I did not realize that it was digital only on PS3. I got lucky! Well, this was back in 2013? 2014. I think. No, 2013. Yes, 2013. Big Bumpin. So, pretty sure all of you remember that, like, when the Xbox 360 came out, Burger King got the license to release games based or to play on the 360, and I do believe the original Xbox. Yeah, it's you can play it on either of them. It's a little bit more enhanced on the Xbox 360. There's 3 games you can get from Burger King for the Xbox. Big Bumpin' is one of them. This one is all about bumper cars, and it's not the greatest, but whatever. I thought they were going to be like huge collectibles because I did not think a lot of people remember them. Now you go to any store and you'll find them, like the 3 of them bundled up together for $1. Nobody gave a shit. We got the Bioshocks, Bioshock 1 and 2. I only played a little bit of the first Bioshock, and once again, just like with Assassin's Creed, got distracted. God, I got the hiccups now. Shit. Got distracted and stopped playing it for something else. And I don't know why, because I was really enjoying what I was playing. I really like the atmosphere. It's a first-person shooter. It's my favorite genre, so why not? And it's kind of like playing like a Half-Life game where it's a lot of story mixed in, interwoven with the gameplay, which I think is always great. And, yeah, for some reason I just never went back to it, and I think I really need to do that. And also there's part 2. I also have Infinity on the PS3. Or Infinite on the PS3. This was cool. I actually got in trouble at my old apartment for playing this game. Battle Angels 2, Secret Missions of World War II. I love aerial combat, flight simulator type games. And this one is like super arcadey, and it's just like blow up everything in sight. and it's World War II, so you're like fighting Nazis and stuff, and I was having so much fun. I had the volume of this up so high at my old apartment, and the way I used to think of it was, since my old apartment was carpeted, and our apartments were so far apart, I never really thought that it was going to be an issue. And then, like, the next day, I played this for, I want to say, like, 2 hours, blasting the volume. And then, like, the next day, I had a letter slipped under my door that says, if you ever... It was, like, from the management of the apartment complex. It was, like, a luxury apartment complex. Like, they're like, if we ever get a report from you blasting explosions the way you were the other day, we're going to have a little talk about you actually being able to stay here. And I was like, okay, lesson learned. But it's a great game, super fun. I think there's another game in this series. I think I have it for the Xbox. I think? I can't remember. Maybe. But it's a great game. Are 360 Wii games really going for $1 at GameStop? Yeah, I think so. I need to go there like they're gone like toilet paper. God. I have not been to a GameStop in a while because I'm trying to like curb my spending right now because because the Midwest Gaming Classic is coming up in a few weeks. So everyone keeps on telling me there's like a buy two get two free sale at some GameStops and all that. I really should go and take a look, but I'm not. But the last time I went to a GameStop was probably January. It was when I went to go see 1917, so that was in January. And it was one that was closing down, and yeah, the Xbox 360, the Wii, and the PS3 sections, it was like, they just wanted to get them the hell out of there. They were like clearancing the shit out of them. But there was nothing there that I think I got one Wii game. Yeah, I got Force Unleashed that night for like $1.50. But for the most part, it was just like garbage, like sports games and stuff, so I didn't really pay any attention. Anyway, back to the games. Blood Bowl. This is based on a tabletop RPG game that I think is also kind of like in the Warhammer universe or something like that, or it's developed by the same people that make Warhammer. Yeah, Games Workshop. But this is kind of like, let me see, Mutant League Football, I guess. I've never actually played the tabletop version. I know a bunch of people that do. I used to be like in a D&D group, and I am no longer welcome there for some reason. Don't ask me why. They never invite me anymore. Guess I wasn't geeky enough for them. And occasionally I remember them saying that they did play this, but I never have. So I wanted to get the video game version, and it's okay. It's basically football with blood and ogres and spiked footballs. So why not? Still haven't played this one. It was one of the first games I bought when I got back into collecting. It was also a game that I had... God, I cannot stop coughing. It was also a game that I had back in the day when I first got my 360. Blue Dragon. It's an RPG. I think one of the first RPGs that came out on the 360. How many discs is this? Like 2 discs? 3 discs. God damn. And I think the artist for this is the guy who also did Dragon Ball Z or something like that, which is like a big thing to get people to buy it from, like, I guess the generation after me, because I was way too old when Dragon Ball Z came out. I was not interested in it at all. A lot of people that are younger than me were huge into it, like my friend Justin, who's like 5 years younger than me. He's like huge into it. So yeah, everyone was like, oh, Dragon Ball Z art, yay! And I was like, so I wanted it just to try it. Have not played it. A lot of people say it's pretty clunky. So, but it does have music by Nobuo Uematsu from Final Fantasy, so that's a plus. Everyone tells me this game is absolute trash, but I got it for a whopping $1, and I think the disc replay, Bomberman Act 0. It's like Bomberman in 3D, and everyone says it's So I bought it, put a picture of it online with like my weekly, these are the games I added to my collection picture that I put up on Instagram, and everyone was like, that Bomberman game is poo. I was like, well, I got it for $1, so I don't care. This is a cool licensed game. I've always enjoyed this. Robert Ludlum's The Bourne Conspiracy. It's kind of trying to capitalize on the Bourne movies. I think this came out around the same time as the Bourne Ultimatum, but it's not specifically based on the games. No, I don't. But I did have the flu a couple of weeks back, and I just have a cough left over. Yeah, it's more based on the books than the movies, but the same music from the movies is in the game, and the fighting style from the movie is in the game, and all that. So it's like, what is this supposed to be? But it is a fun game. I really like the fighting system. Like when you get into a fist fight with somebody, it kind of turns into like a QuickTime event type thing, and there's like environmental stuff in the area. If you're standing next to a desk and an icon pops up, you can grab the guy by the head and smash his head on the desk if you want, instead of just punching the shit out of him. It's actually really fun. There's like some stealth stuff. There's, the beat 'em up aspect, and yeah, it's a spy game, but it's fun. I haven't played it in a while. I got real close to beating it back at my old apartment, and I gave up on it for whatever reason, and I got rid of it because I was like mad at it for I think because I kept kicking my ass on one specific part. I sold it, repurchased it when I got back into collecting, played it for like a day, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I'll come back to it, and I never did. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. It's another World War II first-person shooter. Have another game in the series for the original Xbox. It's actually pretty cool. It's not like the best, like the Call of Duty games that were coming out at the time. The World War II ones were actually better than this, so... But it's fun to have. I like those types of first-person shooters. Brutal legend, Tim Schafer is a god amongst men. I absolutely love his games. This one is like a 3D adventure game with some beat-em-up stuff, but Jack Black plays the lead character. There's a lot of awesome rock music from like the 80s and 90s in here. I remember when I was driving around at one point in like the Rockmobile thing that you got, and I started playing Rock of Ages by Def Leppard, and I was just like, oh, that is the coolest freaking thing ever. Never beat it, though. Got distracted again by something else. I must have like ADD when it comes to video games, because I'll play something for a little while and then just get distracted and never go back to it. Did beat this one, though. Bulletstorm Epic Edition. This got a remaster on the current gen stuff also. And it's a first-person shooter, but the mechanic is that you have like a energy whip or something, and you can like launch people in the air with it, and then you can do like a kill. And there's like, I don't know how many different types of like fatality finishing moves that you can pull on people. And I only found like a fraction of them because I wasn't willing to experiment like everyone else was. But for a first-person shooter, it's pretty fun. In the remaster, I think Duke Nukem got added into it as a playable character, which is pretty rad. Still haven't played this. Got this from my buddy Playongo, who's another YouTuber. I think he stopped talking about games, and now he's like mostly talking about anime nowadays. But back then, he was talking about games. He had an eBay store. He was like selling or reselling games that he was getting. And I saw this one, and he gave me a good price on it. It's Bullet Witch. Comes with an exclusive poster. Does it still have it? No! Anyway, it's supposed to be like a ripoff of Bayonetta. And it is, but it's just not the greatest. It has like some control issues and all that. But it's a third-person action game. Can't complain. I like them. I like them a lot. Still haven't played this, though, even though Radical Reggie tells me I need to play the Wii version of this. What's up, LV? How's it going? Yes, I did. I watched it this morning at work also. Actually, I watched it at work this morning, and I was laughing the whole time. Those LCD, or the, what were they called? The little handheld LCD games? Those things are so bad. But anyway, Radical Reggie always told me that I needed to play the Wii version of Bully. For some reason, it's better than this one, so whatevs. But it's made by the same people that made Grand Theft Auto. Oh, it's still got the sticker on it from the place I bought it. Woo! Need to take that shit off. But it looks like somebody shit on this also. It's like they wiped their butt with the artwork. It's probably coffee stains. But anyway, it's like a Grand Theft Auto game that takes place in a private school, and you're beating people up. You're beating up other kids and stuff. And you go on missions and all that kind of shit. I haven't played it yet. I will, eventually. Yeah, Tiger Electronics stuff. Yeah, God. Why did those ever exist? And you know what the funny thing is? I must have had like 20 of those growing up. I remember, like, when the NES first came out, my parents wouldn't buy me one. I've brought this up a lot. My parents wouldn't buy us one because we had an Atari 2600, and my parents were like, you already have a video game system. You don't need another one. So to get us to shut up about wanting a Nintendo, they would buy us the Tiger Electronic versions of the Nintendo games. So we had, like, Mega Man 2, we had Simon's Quest, we had Street Fighter. We had a bunch of them, too. We had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones, that real long one. We had the Top Gun one that was really long. Oh, man, we had, like, I swear to God, we had, like, 20 of them. And, like, I hated every one of them. But my brother played them because why not? I remember him telling me, he was just like, oh, it's just like playing an Atari game. I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. We kept on getting them for Christmas, and I'd be like, why are you buying us this junk? Anyway, I talked about the other games in this series in the original Xbox video game collection live stream that I did. This was the first one that came out for the 360. Burnout Revenge. I absolutely love Burnout. The racing parts are fun. They are really, really fun. I play these games for the crash mode, and the crash mode alone. There's a game that just came out. Jason from Corpse Flood bought it. Dangerous Driving, I think it's called. The entire game is the crash mode from this. I think it was developed by people that worked on these games. And it's nothing but the crash mode, and he said it's fantastic, so I need to pick that up. But Burnout Revenge, this is, I think, the 4th game in the series. I stopped buying them after this one, because after this, Burnout Paradise came out, which had nothing to do with any of the other games in the series. It was like an open-world racing game, which was kind of But yeah, they need to bring it back. Stubby, if you want a modern-day Burnout game, get that Dangerous Driving game. And it comes with another game made by the same people, which is basically just more crash mode stuff. Just talked about these. Did I? Yeah, I think I did. I talked about these in the pickup video for February. I think I did. I think. Maybe. Well, I'll have to go back and look. I can't remember. But I realized that I was missing one of the games in the series on the console, so I wanted to pick it up. And then I upgraded the other one that I had. So we're talking the original Call of Duty 2. I had the original version, but I got the 2005 Game of the Year edition. I basically sold the original one and got this one instead. And picked up Call of Duty 3 because I did not have it in my collection. This is the gold edition. Only thing about these that's different from the original retail versions is it has extra multiplayer stuff, which is stuff I don't play. And it's probably not online anymore anyway, so why not? But first-person shooters, World War II games, absolutely love them. The second one is based on like the big red one. And all that. That's pretty awesome that they did that. But had to have those to complete the collection. So now I have the original Call of Duty on the original Xbox, and then 1 and 2, 3, 4, and Modern Warfare 2 on the 360. See, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare 2. I spoiled it 3 seconds before I talked about it. I farted. Anyway, Call of Duty 4 blew my mind when it first came out. I was just like, this is the coolest first-person shooter I've ever played, besides Black, but this looked better. So I was all over it. I was all about this game for the longest time. But my favorite Call of Duty game, out of all of them that have come out, is Modern Warfare 2. This was the one that had the real controversial airport scene where your character is like undercover with a bunch of terrorists and goes through on like a rampage through an airport, just gunning down innocent people. Yes, that is disturbing. And it was weird to play that scene. What really got to me was when the nuclear bomb goes off over the US and DC's on fire, and you have to play through the remains of DC, and it is like creepy as F. And I was like jaw dropped for like the last half of this game. And I absolutely loved it. I was like, okay, this one is just surprising me every turn. Love it. The music is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite soundtracks in a video game ever. It was composed by Hans Zimmer and Lorne Balfe, who are film composers. And I still listen to the soundtrack to this on the regular. There's a track called Green Flares, and Whiskey Hotel and Green Flares. It's probably some of the most epic music you'll ever hear from a video game. It is fantastic. I highly recommend you look that up. Great game. Yeah, and then Modern Warfare 3, when it was done, I was just like, okay. Friend of mine recommended that I pick this one up. Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood. It's a Western first-person shooter. My friend Justin is a huge Western fan. I am not. But he was just like, you'll like it. It's a first-person shooter. And I played it a little bit, and it's okay. I like gun more. Picked this one up when I was hanging out with Captain Algebra, and we went game hunting throughout Chicagoland. Capcom Digital Collection. It's a compilation of a bunch of the games that are available on the Xbox Live from Capcom. You've got Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, which is the one where everybody looks like they're made out of like Parappa the Rapper type animation. It's weird. Final Fight Double Impact, Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, 1942 Joint Strike, Wolf of the Battlefield Commando Part 3, Rocket Men, Axis of Evil, and it came from Uranus, Uranus, Expansion Pack, and Flock. A few of these games I'm not familiar with. A couple of them I am. but I needed to get this. There's also a Konami compilation that I want to get for the 360, but it's like really expensive. These are awesome. A lot of people I know are kind of like meh on them, but I thought it was fantastic, but I still need to play the second one. I've only played the first. Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, and Lords of Shadow 2. I'm a huge Castlevania whore. Absolutely had to play these 3D versions of a Castlevania game. And you know what? Yes, it's like playing a God of War game. Didn't bother me because Castlevania. I still love it. I got a kick out of the first one, but I never got around to playing the second one, which is a damn shame. The one on the 3DS is really good. So there was like, this just got a remaster, and the remaster has extra content in it also. Funny thing was, I bought this when I was hanging out with my ex-girlfriend when we were still dating. We went to like a mall that's really out of the way up north, and there's a GameStop in there, and I was walking around and I found 2 games. You might see the other one in this pickup video. And I picked this one up, and she looked at me, she's like, is that a porn game? Yeah, I never played the second one, so I can't comment. She's like, is that a porn game? And I was like, I don't think so. They don't release porn games because the back of it has like a couple of girls with like their legs up and shit, and main character's running around in his underwear. And then I played it, and I was like, this is special. Catherine. So you play as this guy who's dating a girl named, I think it's Catherine with a C, and then eventually he meets a girl named Catherine whose name starts with a K, and he like starts to consider having an affair with her. And he has like these nightmares where he's got like devil horns or whatever, and he has to like climb these boxes or whatever. So it's like part puzzle platformer and part relationship simulator, and it's really bizarre. I never completed it. I really should. I played it for a little while, and I was like, this is different, but yeah, I really need to get into it. Catherine is crazy. K is the long-term girlfriend? Okay. Like I said, it's been a while. It was like when I first bought it. That was probably in 2013 or 2014 when I bought that. That was the last time I played it. But I need to get back into it. Hey, Musty, wasn't that the game of the month for the Cartridge Club? You guys playing porn games up in there? I need to change the box on this one because this is a Kinect game. So there's the Kinect, and I got my bonus check, or not my bonus check, my tax return. And a couple, my friends and I, my friend Justin and his wife Elizabeth, were like hanging out at a mall, and we went to the local GameStop, and they had like the Kinect on sale, and it came with like a digital download of like the Gunslinger or the Gunslinger or something like that, and a couple of other games, which I have in this stack over here. And I was like, sure, why not? I'll do it. I think I also bought DJ Hero 2 at the same time, the big box one that came with the controller, because it was on sale too. Because I was like, money, I got it, let's spend it. And I immediately like went crazy on buying Kinect games. And with each single one I bought, my excitement about it went less and less, because it doesn't work very well. Let's be honest, it doesn't. Yeah, last year, it's a pern game, pern. You're running around your underwear. Anyway, so I was really disappointed with it. I stopped playing it until this came out. Child of Eden. This was developed by the same people that made Rez. And it's kind of like a rhythm game. There's a girl who's like a princess or something, and she's like trapped in cyberspace or something, and you have to like rescue her. But you like play through music videos and stuff, because you're like going through like this weird version of the internet. It is the most bizarre storyline for a game ever, but the songs are awesome and super catchy, and the gameplay is really fun. If you've played Rez, you know what to expect. It's like the way you play this with the Kinect is like there'll be enemies coming at you or whatever, and you have to like move your hand over them to select them, kind of like in Star Fox, and then you fire and you'll destroy all the things coming at you. So you highlight all the enemies and then you shoot at them like in Rez. And it's super fun, and it's one of the few games that actually works with the Kinect and works really well. They should redo Child of Eden for PSVR. I am in complete agreement there, Stubby. This would make for a fantastic PSVR game, just like Rez did. Rez is one of my favorite PSVR games, so I say make it happen. Pick this up because Metal Jesus recommended it in one of his Diamond in the Rough videos for the Xbox 360. It's called Chrome Hounds. It's like a tank combat game or like a mech game. I have not played it, but I didn't really pay attention to it when I first got it because it didn't really make much of a difference. But now that I'm aware of the company that developed this, it's From Software. And it makes sense because of all the different mech games they've made over the years. It's like, this fits right in. So yeah, I did not realize that until I was putting the games together today to talk about, and I was going through each one, and I was like, haven't played it, haven't played it. I was like, From Software, holy shit! So now I have to play this one immediately. But it's like a tank mech combat game. This is fantastic. I played the original version of this on the original Xbox. Absolutely loved it. Came real close to beating it, and then I just got stuck, and I could not, and I did not want to reset or reboot the game and start over from the beginning. But then they remastered the original one and released a sequel on the same disc. So I had to get it. And that is Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on Dark Athena. This also has Escape from Butcher Bay, which was the original game. Fantastic tie-ins to Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick movies. I absolutely love those films. I love them. Except for Riddick is kind of okay to me. But the mood is right. It's their first-person action and their first-person shooter action stealth beat 'em up games. There's a lot of fist fighting in it too, especially in the first one when you're in prison. You gotta get into fist fights and stuff to win people's respect and shit. Really awesome game. Like I said, if you're a big fan of the Riddick movies, this is right up your alley. You absolutely have to play them. They are really, really well made. And I had not played through the second one either. But I really want to go through the first one again. It's on my list of games I need to play for my backlog roulette. Because I never beat it. Still haven't opened this one, but I got this for $5 at Half Price Books, still sealed. Civilization Revolution. I have not played it, obviously, but I like these SimCity, build your own civilization type games. So had to pick this one up, and it looks really complicated and kind of goofy. So why not? Pick this one up because licensed games. Clash of the Titans. Got it for $3 at Half Price Books. Can't complain. Wanted it because I'm not a big fan of the movie itself. I like the original Clash of the Titans a whole lot. Civilization Revolution is a lot of fun. It has a pretty... Okay, so like I said, I was reading the back and I was just like, ugh, I don't know if I really want to get into this because I'll just end up, reading instruction manuals because the game is pretty heavy, so I'm assuming the manual is really big. Anyway, Clash of the Titans is a 3D beat-em-up. It's kind of like God of War, except everything is brown. The entire game is brown. It's really kind of gross looking. And I'm not a big fan of the movie, but in video game form, it's actually pretty fun. It's not the greatest thing. Doesn't reinvent the wheel or anything. It's just a really fun 3D beat-em-up. And here we got... Command & Conquer 3, Tiberium War, and Red Alert 3. I've never been a fan of the Command & Conquer games. I was not big into strategy games back in the day, but I am now, and I found both of these at Half Price Books, so I said, why not? Still have not played them, but I watched... I can't remember who, but I watched somebody stream these years ago, at least the first one, or the Command & Conquer 3, and I remember really enjoying what I saw, so wanted to get them. Michael Ironside and Billy D. Williams are in this one. What the hell? Holy crap. And Trisha Helfer. And the guy that played, what's his name? Paul Atreides in the Dune TV movie. That's crazy. Wow. Tim Curry's in this one. What? God damn. I need to play these now. No questions asked. I need to. God damn. Conan. I picked this one up when it was first released. Because all the reviews I was reading saying that it was a really good 3D beat 'em up, and I was like, okay, cool. And they're like, Ron Perlman plays Conan, and he plays it so well. So I was like, yes, let's do it. And I like me a good beat 'em up. I like me a good 3D beat 'em up. But the thing about this one is, it just bored me. The longer I played it, I was just like, this is so damn repetitive. I'm just hitting the same button over and over again. And I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. So I got rid of it. And I never beat it. And then when I got back into collecting, I found a really cheap copy of it at Half Price Books, so I bought it. I can't remember how much I paid, maybe $2 or $3. And it's still really repetitive and gets kind of old really quick, but when you play it in spurts, it's okay. I would not recommend playing it for 4 hours at a time because you will probably fall asleep while you're doing that. I played a little bit of the first one of this, but I have not played the second one. I really need to get into that. Maybe I'll start doing a lot of these horror games for Halloween. Condemned, Criminal Origins, and Condemned 2 Bloodshot. These are first-person horror games, horror survival, or survival horror games. And Yeah, the first one I played a little bit, and there's like a beat 'em up aspect because you get like melee weapons and you're beating the crap out of people with them, and I thought it was pretty cool. But I just ended up going off and playing something else. And I found the second one really cheap, also at half-price books, so I picked it up. But I really do need to go back and play through those. I've only played a little bit of the first one here also. Jeez, it's a motif for tonight. God damn. Crackdown and Crackdown 2. Never played Crackdown 2, but I know the graphics changed. I think it's more like... oh, God. What's it called? Jet Set Radio graphics. God, my brain is just like fried right now. Can't think of it. Anyway, the original Crackdown, it's like open world game, but it's like futuristic cyber cop stuff. And it was pretty fun. You play like a super cop, you can jump like over buildings and shit if I remember correctly, and steal cars and whatnot. Cell shading, thank you, Stubby. Got it. There was just drawing a blank on that. I liked what I played, but once again, got distracted by something else and stopped playing it, so whatever. And then I never got around to playing Crackdown 2 because the way I work is I need to beat the first one to play the second one, and I also have the third one for the Xbox One, so yeah. Whatever. I just dribbled on myself. Awesomeness. Yeah. So, how many games have I gone through so far? A lot, right? And I'm still in the C's. Like I said, my Xbox collection, my 360 collection is very front of the alphabet heavy. Like I said, I took out half of my collection to talk about tonight, and that half ends at the letter J. Or it's in the middle of the letter J, the J games I have. Nuts. Anyway, the Curse Crusade, picked this up at that disc replay place, and I remember somebody telling me that it was pretty cool, but I think it's supposed to be like a God of War ripoff, but it takes place during the Crusades. So you're playing as like a bunch of Crusaders and all that, and because I see the shields on the back and crosses everywhere and stuff, so why not? It looked like a fun beat 'em up, so I said, why not? Let's do it. Got this because Adam Koralik, who's another Chicago-based YouTuber, talked about this in one of his videos, and he said it's not a great game. It's not, I wouldn't even consider it a good game, but it's like so bad it's good. But it had potential because the storyline is interesting, and it's called Darkest of Days. Basically what it is it takes place during, I think, the Civil War. And it's like, what would happen if people in the Civil War got the weapons from modern day? So somehow weapons from the modern day get transported back in time, and yeah, the Blues get them and stuff. So it's like, how would that war have ended up if everyone had like modern day like repeater rifles and shit? So yeah, I was interested. It's a first-person shooter, so I said, why not? Dark Messiah of Might and Magic Elements. Haven't played this one either, but it's a first-person action RPG. And your hands are doing the magics and stuff. And it looks pretty fantastic. I remember I got this at that disc replay also, and it looks so cool. I picked it up, but like most games in my collection, I have never gotten around to playing it. What's up, Smash? How's it going? I've been okay, dude. Got sick a couple weeks back, but doing a lot better now. How's everything with you? Another series, played the first one a little bit, never finished it, and then picked up the sequel because why not? That is The Darkness and The Darkness 2, but this is the limited edition. First-person shooters, but the thing is you have like these demons that live like on your back or something, and they're like these tentacle creatures, and eventually you get to use them as weapons, kind of like Venom. And it's pretty cool. I do have a Game Room video on my channel. It's from a couple years ago. And I really enjoyed what I played of the original, but like everything else I've talked about tonight, got distracted by some other game and never went back to it. And therefore I have never played the second one, so that's on my list also. No, it was not. It was just the flu. I actually went to the emergency room because I thought I had pneumonia. And they were like, nope, you have flu version A or whatever it was, they said. Yeah, that's what I always thought it was. Like when these tentacle things are attacking, I was like the stuff that would pop up off of Venom. Dark Sector, I want to say that the engine that runs this game was developed specifically for this, and I think it's still used today. There was like a fluid system and stuff like that was developed for this. I saw like a video about it a long time ago. But it's a third-person action game where you have like this glaive thing from Krull, and that's your main weapon. I wanted it because of that, because it reminded me of Krull, so yes. Just started The Last of Us, been a long time coming. Oh yeah, dude, The Last of Us is so good. Started playing on the PS3, got stuck, gave up on it. Then I eventually got the PS4 remaster and beat the crap out of it on all the DLC. It is fantastic. Cannot wait for part 2. Glaive! Dude, I was listening to the Krull soundtrack in my car today. That music is fantastic. Anyway, here's another game that I got because of Adam Koralik. It's developed by the same company that made Darkest of Days. And he's like, these are kind of like similar, yet not. I mean, like, this one is like a dumbed down version of Mass Effect. It's called Darkstar 1 Broken Alliance. It's an outer space exploration game and all that, so it is kind of like Mass Effect, except you don't have like the conversation trees and stuff like that. But he says it's like a dumbed down version of, like I said, Mass Effect, so why not? Action adventure in one exciting package. Play as a pirate, a trader, a mercenary, a bounty hunter, a smuggler, or an assassin, and configure your ship accordingly. Ooh, get reputation points. Haven't played it, but it looked pretty cool. I watched some footage on YouTube, and I was like, okay, I'll pick it up. And it was like a whopping $4 on eBay. Darkest of Days was actually a little bit more expensive. I think I paid $10 for that. Darkstar 1 I only got for like $4, I think. Deadly Premonition. It's a horror game. I have not played it. I think there's actually a PS3 version of this out there that's like a director's cut or something. But, yeah, I wanted this one when it first came out. Never got around to buying it. Everyone tells me it's like a really cheesy Twin Peaks ripoff. Like, dialogue is absolutely, like, trash. But, horror. I'm a horror fan. Wanted it. Had to have it. Dead or Alive 4. I have played this one. It was one of the first games I actually got for my Xbox 360. I think it was when I first moved into this apartment. And absolutely loved it. I love the Dead or Alive series. Like I said in the PS1 video game collection live stream that I did, how I got into a fight with a GameStop employee over the original Dead or Alive because I wanted to buy it over Tekken 2, which I always thought was funny. But I've always enjoyed the Dead or Alive games, especially the one on the Dreamcast. That one is just fantastic. So absolutely had to have this. It's more of the same. Can't complain. They have not really gone off the rails with that franchise. Yeah, I actually got rid of a few of my 360 games recently. Went through and I was like, yeah, never going to play that, but I want to say, last time when I checked today, I think it said I had like 220 games for it or something like that. Dead or Alive Xtreme 2, porn game! No. This is more of the volleyball Dead or Alive series thing that came out on the original Xbox, which got a lot of crap because everyone's like, it's porn. It's not porn. Just because women are running around in bikinis. Yeah, you ain't doing, like, banging mini games and stuff. No. But volleyball, jet skiing, tug of war in the pool. Ooh, hopping across those floaties on the pool. Oh, my God. The gameplay, just, the possibilities are endless. No, it's okay. It's just goofy. Harmless fun. And then there's the third one that's available on the new consoles also. And I think there's another one after that also. No, it was an update to the third one. Okay, so here's one of my favorite franchises for this generation. Dead Space 2, and Dead Space 3. I've beaten the first two. I got about halfway through Dead Space 3, and I was just kind of like, I don't know if I like this one or not. But Dead Space, the mechanics of it, everything about it is fantastic. This game had like this media blitz when it came out. It was like this all-encompassing media thing to get the word out. There was a motion comic, which was a prequel to the prequel. Then there was an animated movie, which was the direct prequel to the first game. And then there's the game. And then they made a sequel animated movie that led into the second game. And holy shit. I played through this one faster than I played through any other game that I've ever had from this generation. I absolutely loved every minute of it. I love the necromorphs and the way you gotta like do the different flipping of your gun in order to take out the limbs and stuff like that, and sometimes that doesn't even do it. The storyline is great and twisted. I loved every bit of it. And then the second one, holy crap. The second one scared the shit out of me I don't know how many different times. And that whole scene where you gotta put that needle through your eyeball, like, I almost couldn't play that part. I mean, I don't have a thing about eyeballs, but it was just the fact that the camera was like slowly zooming into the eye as the needle got closer and closer. I was just like, no. It just creeped me out to no end. And then that final battle where like your girlfriend is kind of like popping in and out as you're fighting in that cloudy platformed area or whatever it was. Love it. Absolutely love it. And then there's the third game, which just kind of like is okay. They didn't really, to me, it's like they didn't know how to end it. So I got to the point where you have to like avoid the asteroids when you're piloting the spaceship with all the other people in your crew. And after that, I was like, I think I want to play something else. So I never got around to finishing that one. Where's my big box for this one? Holy shit. Is it over there? Yeah, it is. Hang on, I'll be right back. Hey, you is? Yeah. All right, so when I got back into collecting, I did a little bit of research on the Xbox 360 because I'd been neglecting it for a long time. Like, I would have these spurts because I had the 360, I had the Wii. Well, no, I had gotten rid of my Wii at that point. I had the 360 and I had the PS3. And I would like have these spurts where I'd be like, 360 is the best. And then I'd be like, no, the PS3 is the best. But the PS3 was the one that I focused on the longest for a while. And I completely started to ignore the 360. And the 360 was getting a lot of really cool exclusives. And when I got back into collecting, that was when I started going back and looking at all the exclusives that I was missing. And one of them was Death Smiles. This is the limited edition. Comes with a soundtrack and a faceplate for the front of your 360. Never really got into the whole faceplate thing. I was just like, leave my 360 alone. It looks fine the way it is. And yeah, the soundtrack is in here, and you have the game here. And the game is an arcade shmup where you play as like these witches, I want to say. I can't really remember. But it's not that difficult. It's actually really easy, and it's kind of hard to die. You end up fighting like a big cow as a boss. It's goofy, it's silly, it has a stupid storyline, but it's a shmup. Who cares? But I really had fun playing this. I actually reviewed this with my buddy Josh on the old video, our channel, my old channel Toasty that I used to have on YouTube, where we had like a talk show where we talked about geeky stuff. We actually reviewed this. And it's really fun. It's not like bullet hell or anything like that, but it's just really quirky and strange for the sake of being strange. And the funny thing is, when I went to the Midwest Gaming Classic, I think it was like 2 years ago, when I met Daniel Pacino, where I was really hesitant about meeting him because of, you know, him kind of being a dick to me when I was younger. And I was listening to him talking to the other fans in this like arcade where he had his signing table set up. I ended up playing through the entire arcade cabinet of this while I was there. And I had a blast doing it. And I was sitting there like eavesdropping on Daniel Pacino to see if he was still acting like a dick to people, and he was not. He was actually like super nice to everybody. And I was just like, okay, I'll go talk to him now and see if, you know, he remembers me. And he didn't. He kind of remembered me. He didn't remember me specifically, but he remembered the place that I met him at. Anyway, back to the games. Divinity 2 Ego Draconis. I think this is an RPG. I've never played it because I want to play the first Divinity, and I do believe, is there like a remaster of the first one on the PS4 or the Xbox One X? I cannot remember. But I remember somebody telling me that this was pretty awesome, so I picked it up because I found it super cheap. So I'm a huge rhythm game fan. Huge. Absolutely love them. I mean, come on. Rock Band ran my life for a whole year. So, of course, I had to have DJ Hero and DJ Hero 2. It's part of the Rock Hero series. Or, sorry, Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero series. What did Daniel Pacini do to me? He basically called me a retard when I was like a early teen or late teen to my face. Anyway, DJ Hero. I actually have 2 of the controllers that you need to play this game. It's like kind of like Beatmania, where you have like the turntable, and then you have like these. In Beatmania, you had a mini keyboard, like a little Casio keyboard, a little small one that had like 5 keys on it. This one, you have like the levels, toggles, and it's really, really fun. And like the music in the game is fantastic because it's always like a hip hop artist versus like an electronic music artist, and it's like these like mashups of songs. So, like, you have stuff like Jay-Z versus Eminem, Daft Punk versus Queen, 50 Cent versus David Bowie, The Killers versus Rihanna, the Jackson 5 versus Third Eye Blind, Beastie Boys versus Belle Biv DeVoe, Black Eyed Peas versus Benny Benassi. Super fun. I absolutely love the music in it. I actually still have a couple of the songs from these games on my iPod that I listen to all the time. And, yeah, it's super fun. And it's catchy, and it's easy to pick up and play. And then there's DJ Hero 2, which is more of the same. But this one has Daft Punk in it. You can actually unlock Daft Punk to play as, which is pretty fantastic. Way Forward is one of my favorite developers. Did not really pay attention to them back in the day, but nowadays I think they're awesome. So DuckTales Remastered. This got taken off of all of the digital platforms a few months back, and like this became like the hottest commodity out there for some reason. Like everybody had to run out and get a damn copy of this game, and I was like, why? It's like it's not an uncommon game. I'm sure you'll be able to find it 5 years from now also. Don't run out and waste your time trying to and pay like $30-$40 for a copy of this. Yeah, I paid that much when I first got it because I bought it when it first was released. But paying for that nowadays, paying that price for this nowadays, no. Anyway, it's a remaster of the original DuckTales NES game. Excuse me. A lot of licenses were taken with it because it's like really expanded now and there's like storyline stuff going on. It's back up on the marketplace, so like now everybody's like, oh shit. I wasted all that money on this game that's now $5 again. Anyway, not that I'm complaining that it was like expanded. It's actually really fun, and of course modern day games, they have to have stories, so yeah, they added all that extra stuff in there, and I'm not sad about it. But not a big fan of the music from the Moon level. I like the one from the original game, but the one in here is kind of But it's great. It's DuckTales. I love DuckTales. Make a remaster part 2 so I can play through that because I'm not buying the NES game. How many of these do I have? Two. Okay. So I'm a big fan of that Musu, I don't know how you pronounce it, games. I know Church hates them. But Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires, this is the add-on to Dynasty Warriors 5. I actually need to have Dynasty Warriors 5 in order to get the most out of this. And then there's also this weird sci-fi spinoff that they did called Dynasty Warriors Strike Force. And it's like outer space Dynasty Warriors. These are just like really simple, like beat 'em ups where it's like one guy versus an army of 1,000 type of thing. And every game is exactly the same, just maybe minor tweaks made to the formula. But I enjoy them because it's just mindless button mashing, turn your brain off type of game. I like that kind of stuff sometimes. This is awesome. This is also a very mindless, pointless, dumb game, but it's awesome because I love Starship Troopers. Earth Defense Force 2017. There's also, I think, 2 other games in this series for this generation, which I need to find. No, I don't. I only have this one. They're also, I think, available for the PS3, but I don't think they run very well. I think the Xbox is the one where they run the best. But it's basically Starship Troopers, the game. You're like a soldier, and there's like giant insects everywhere, and you just have to keep blowing them up over and over again. It's awesome. Yeah, EDF. I miss classic Game Room. Yeah, I absolutely love this series. I need to go and find the other 2 games in that series. Maybe I'll do that at the Midwest Gaming Classic. I usually don't go for modern-ish games when I'm at the Midwest Gaming Classic. I think the only game I've ever bought there from like a generation from like the last 20 years was when I bought Wii Sports like 2 years ago at the Midwest Gaming Classic. But maybe that'll change this year. Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. Was there an original Matt Hazard game out there? I'm not sure, but I picked this up for like $2 at Disc Replay when it was still here, and it's a third-person, like, run and gun. Why not? This is heavy. Normally I don't keep the big boxes like this up on the shelf, but there's really no way to separate the game from this big package, so I just kept the whole thing up on the shelf, and it takes up way too much space, which I'm not a fan of. But anyway, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Collector's Edition. I've played this game for a whopping 30 minutes. But this limited edition comes with not only the game, right there, the manual, right there, but it also has... What is that? Is that another disc? Oh, bonus materials. Bonus material DVD. It has like a map and I think an art book. No, it's like a story. Oh, it's like the history of Oblivion, I guess. Whatever. So, when this game first came out, I was super excited because I really did enjoy the little bit of Morrowind that I played, but I never got around to beating it. So, I was super excited about playing this one. Picked it up, brought it home. I escaped from the dungeon, talked to Patrick Stewart, had a little convo with him, got outside, found like this clearing to take a nap, and in the middle of the night I was woken up by a mage who absolutely murdered me. And I got so mad that happened that I was like, F this game. And I never went back to play it. I still have like no real desire to go. I mean, I'm gonna play it eventually, but I really have like I'm like sitting there going like I don't need to play a new game. Oblivion, no. But that ticked me off so much. I don't know why. So here's one that has a big box. I picked up the... I don't know if this is like the limited edition or anything like that, but it's like the big box version of Enchanted Arms. I think this also came out on the PS3, but it's an RPG by Ubisoft. I actually have the game itself here, but this is the extra box. This comes with like a graphic novel, which I was surprised to actually find with this when I bought it, because I got it at Half Price Books, and usually somebody would have stolen something like this, but they left it in here. Maybe they just didn't know it existed, or maybe they didn't know it was actually in there. Why am I putting that away like that? This stays separately. God damn it, Chris. Anyway, haven't played it. It's an RPG. This I have played, and I have beaten, and I absolutely love this game. I would love to get a remaster of it at some point. It would be fantastic, but Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. This is by Ninja Theory, which is, oh god, the guy that played Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies. It's his company, his video game company. Jesus, I cannot remember his damn name. I'm having problems with names today. Ugh. Anyway, it's a platformer that's sort of like Uncharted or like the new Tomb Raider games. But it's like the world has been like destroyed. It's like basically a giant forest. There's giant robots running around everywhere that are killing people, kind of like in Horizon Zero Dawn. And you're trying to figure out what happened. So you play as this dude, I think his name's Monkey, and he's like connected to this other girl, and I cannot remember what her name is. It's been a while since I played this. But they're like connected with like these, like this like necklace. It's kind of like that movie Deadlock. If they get too far apart, they start to feel pain. And he's like the brawn and she's the brains, and you're trying to figure out what happened to the world, and she's trying to get back to like her land, and he's just kind of like, whatever, I'll help you because I can't not help you because we're connected. And it's fantastic. The platforming is great. The story is great. I absolutely love the gameplay. It's one of the best. Andy Serkis. Yes, he does. I read he does. You're lying, Musty. That's one of the best games I have for the console. Peter Molyneux, lying piece of shit. Anyway, Fable 2 and Fable 3. The guy who was like everyone complained about Aliens, Colonial Marines, like not living up to the expectation, which I had no expectations for it. That's all the Fable series. That guy lied about every aspect about these games in order to make people buy it. Like, oh, you're going to plant an acorn, and then like by the time the game is over, you'll have a full tree. No. Like, he would, like, lie to people's faces when he's being interviewed just to, like, sell copies. But I never got around to playing any of them. I really should, just to try them out. I know Chicken Chaser's a thing. But, yeah, I have this limited collector's edition of Part 2. It comes with a bonus DVD, making of feature, and extra game content. But it's an action RPG. And then there's Fable 3, which I obviously have not played. And now, this is the Fable game that I have played, and this game is kind of fantastic, and we're just talking about Kinect games, right? Fable The Journey is like the Kinect version of Fable, and it works the same way that Children of Eden worked, where it like basically just monitors your hands. This game is like you're a magic user. It's in the first person. You're like a mage, and you can summon spells by doing certain movements with your hands, like wax on, wax offy type things. And then you shoot them at whatever enemy is coming your way. Somebody shoots at you. If you dodge, you'll actually dodge in the game. It works really well. You don't have to stand up while you're playing it. You can play it completely, while you're sitting down, which is exactly what I did. And I had a blast playing this one. This is like one of the few games where the Kinect actually works as promised, which surprises the hell out of me. What's the other one other than Child of Eden? Dance Central. My girlfriend at the time loved that game, and I sat there and watched her play it for like hours, and I was just like, you're making me sweat watching you play this shit. Still haven't played any of these because they're epic and huge, and damn it. Fallout 3, and this is the game of the Game of the Year edition, comes also with Operation Anchorage, The Pit, Broken Steel, Point Lookout, and Mothership Zeta. And then I have the Ultimate Edition of Fallout New Vegas, which also includes Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, and Lonesome Road. Oh, and Gunrunner's Arsenal and Courier's Stash add-ons. I've always wanted to play these Fallout games. I actually did play a little bit of Fallout 3 when I first got it because there was a guy at work who found out that I was like a big gamer. Imaginarium. My bad. I stand corrected. And I played like the first hour and a half of Fallout 3, and I liked it. First person game. Liam Neeson's in it. And I was like really digging the fact that Liam Neeson loaned his voice to this. And I liked it. I just never went back to it because I kind of wanted to play the first 2 games, and then I found out the first 2 games are like playing Shadowrun on the Super Nintendo. They're like these top-down Legend of Zelda-esque RPGs, and I was like, oh, and they're only on PC, and I was like, oh, that's not going to happen. So I need to set some time aside to play through these damn Fallout games so I can find out what all the hubbub's about. Final Fantasy 13, also known as Final Hallway 13, and Final Fantasy 13-2. These are both sealed. Got these from the Square Enix clearance sale on their website. And I was like, well, if I'm going to buy them now, or if I'm going to buy these games, now's the time, because they were like $3 or $4 each or something like that. So I picked them up, and they're still sealed because I have not played them, and I don't know if I want to play them. I hear so many people complain about Final Fantasy 13 that like I said, I don't know if I even wanted to try it out. So there's that. But they ended up sending me like the bestseller edition, and that kind of cheesed me off. So, But it's very linear, which is what everyone tells me about. I remember you saying you liked it, but like you're in the minority on that one. I remember everybody just whining about it. This is the other game I bought when I got... Was it? Yes, I think it was. No! It's for the PS3. Shit. Anyway, the first Templar. Got this because my friend Justin was telling me about it, and he said he made it sound pretty cool. So it's like a Crusades game. So I said, why not? And it's like a third person, beat 'em up. Sure, let's do it. Okay, I have played through a couple of these. Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, and Gears of War Judgment. I played through the first 2. I played through the first one when I first got my Xbox. It was one of the first games I bought. I think it was one of the games I bought when I got it. I got Gears of War and Dead Rising when I first bought my Xbox 360. I ended up liking Gears of War way more than Dead Rising. I never beat Dead Rising because I was just kind of like... and absolutely fantastic. Fell in love with the franchise. Didn't realize it was going to be a franchise at this point, but why not the way it ended? And then never really got around to playing Part 2 until I got fired from my last job when I was unemployed in 2011. So I was like, this is the opportunity I have. I have all this free time now. Play through this sucker, and I did. And man, there are some gut-wrenching scenes in this game. There's that scene with that dude's wife where he finds her in the mines or whatever, and it's just like, aww. Really sad game, but it ends on another cliffhanger type situation, which leads into Gears of War 3, which I have never played, which means I've never played Judgment either. So, need to go back and play through them. Poor Dom. Yeah, I know. That was so sad. I remember like sitting there just watching, going like, my bottom lip's like quivering. I was like, why? Why would you do this game? So sad. But great games. I need to go back and finish off the series because there's also part 4 and 5 on the Xbox One I gotta play through. Damn it! Pick this one. I've been trying to find... Okay, so I talked about it in the pickup video where I talked about this. I've been trying to find this game for years. I could never find either the PS3 or the 360 version. I always found the PS2 version. And I was like, no! I want the HD version, damn it! And I'm talking about G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. I do not like this movie, but the game always intrigued me because of what it was. And it's kind of like an arcadey cover shooter. Kind of like Gears of War, but it's like, it doesn't really follow you around the way a third-person game normally would like that. It's just kind of like the camera stays back and you're like, it's like an arcade game, honestly. It's like you're in the foreground, there's cover, you have to duck, pop up and you shoot, kind of like Time Crisis. But your character's really small, and you're shooting at people in the background, and then once you kill everyone there, you move up to the next area where there's another barrier, and you keep on doing it. And sometimes things will come from above, like vehicles from the movie and the game and the toy line and all that. And it always looked really fun. And it is. And I finally got around to playing it, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing is, you can also play as Cobra if you really want to, instead of the Joes. Yeah, bad movie, really, really good game. Does not get a lot of attention, which I think it should. That is a diamond in the rough. If there ever was one. Still haven't played this when everyone tells me it's garbage. Golden Axe, Beast Rider. It's like the wrong direction you want for Golden Axe game. God, my brain is so fried. I'm so tired. Yeah, it's a 3D beat 'em up, but it's just not good. I hear the controls are absolutely terrible. So I picked it up for a whopping like $4 at Disc Replay. Okay, so this one I was looking out for this one like you would not believe. I was trying to get this edition with all the codes and everything in it. Ended up getting a copy off of Amazon, I do believe. And finally was able to try out Grand Theft Auto 4, but I wanted to get this like complete edition that comes with Grand Theft Auto 4, also has The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony and the Liberty City story stuff. So it's the entire game in one package. And for some reason I could not find this to save my life for the 360, at least complete. And it was really, really ticking me off. Finally, I want to say I got this off of Amazon really, really cheap. And I was glad that I did. And I finally started playing Grand Theft Auto 4, and I kind of didn't like it. I had played Grand Theft Auto 3, loved it. Played Grand Theft Auto Vice City, loved it. Played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I thought it was okay. But for some reason, I just could not get into the characters in this one. I did not like Nico, like, at all. I just thought it was... I kept on saying it, I thought it was stupid. I know a lot of people love this one, but I'm not one of them. But I'm just glad that I have the compilation. Grand Theft Auto 5, on the other hand, is awesome. Picked this one up because license, and I would always love to have played a game based on this character, but it's based on a really crappy movie based on this character, and I'm kind of hesitant to play it because it's still sealed. Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters. It's actually in 3D if you really want it to be. But yeah, this is based off that crappy Ryan Reynolds movie. And I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. If you look at my comic book, I mean, I don't really have a comic book collection. I have like a bunch of graphic novels. And if you look at what I have, most of them are Green Lantern because I love the character. So I really always wanted to play a Green Lantern game. I figured this is going to be the only way it was going to happen. And too bad it's based on a movie that I can't stand. Eventually, I'll get around to playing it. I did not realize that this series came out on the Xbox 360. I thought it was like a PS3 exclusive thing, but I guess this version of this game was an exclusive to the 360, which is strange because I do not like playing fighting games on the 360. I do not like the controller for fighting games. I always preferred my fighting games on the PS3. But we're talking Guilty Gear 2 Overture. And I absolutely love Guilty Gear games. I love the animation, the characters, the moves, everything. It's just absolutely crazy. Look at this freaking manual, how thick it is. And yeah, the thought of playing this, which requires like super fast movements on the 360 controller, still kind of scares me. But I'll get around to playing it eventually. But I had to have it. Found it at Half Price Books. Absolutely had to trade this in when I found out that this was available on the 360. I had the OG Xbox version of this for the longest time. I talked about it in the OG Xbox video collection live stream that I did, and I upgraded Gun to the 360. Yeah, honestly, I really do need to start getting some arcade sticks. I've been playing my Mortal Kombat arcade 1-up so much that I'm kind of used to playing Mortal Kombat like that now. And now when I play Mortal Kombat 11, I'm just kind of like, ugh, clunky. I think I need to look into getting an arcade stick. Thanks for making me spend some more money, TJ. Thanks a lot. I love fighters. They're my second favorite. Anyway, Gun. It's a Western action game. I loved it on the original Xbox. Thomas Jane is the main character. He voices the main character. It's fantastic. It's like a revenge tale. I absolutely love it. So when I found out that there was an upgraded version on the 360, I absolutely had to get it. And surprised I did not realize that earlier, but did not find out about that until probably like January. God, so many games in this series. Okay, so I need to move some things around so I could show this stuff properly. God damn, Chris. Okay, here we go. Move this stuff. Games. More games. That's a lot of games. And you know what? We're only an H. Okay, so what games are we talking about here? We're talking about Halo. I have every Halo game for the 360. Starting off with Halo, the Combat Evolved Anniversary. This has remastered versions of, what is this, Halo 1 and 2? Or is this the original? Oh, this is just the original Halo. This is a remaster of the original Halo, and the funny thing is, you can switch at will between the upgraded graphics or the original graphics, and it is jarring. Like, I remember I was showing a friend the upgraded version, and they were just like, I really wish I could, like, compare it to what the original game looked like. And I said, oh, you really want to? And I hit a button, and next thing you know, the original graphic playing. He's like, no, switch it back. My eyes. So, yeah, it's fantastic remaster of the game. I absolutely love it. And then we have Halo 3. You're wondering why this has this black case when all the original 360 games have, like, the green case. Well, that's because I had some money at the time that this came out. I had just sold a whole bunch of stock that my dad had bought for me when I was a kid, and I got a shitload of money. And I got the Halo 3, I can't remember what it was, the Legendary Edition or something like that, and it came with, like, this Master Chief helmet thing. And I use it, like, as a bookend right now. Screeching, stop. And it also came with a DVD that I actually have out on my shelf over there with my movies. And a cover, like a little cover to cover that up, to a dust cover. Get that black case out of here. So yeah, Halo 3, another great game in the series. Not my favorite, though. Because my favorite, well, let's say, we've got Halo 3 ODST. Haven't played this one. Surprisingly, I bought it when it first came out, and I just let it sit there. I need to remedy that. It has the complete Halo 3 multiplayer experience. Oh, I didn't realize this had 2 discs. Yeah, I just never got around to playing this one for some reason. Something else distracted me. Dude, you should understand this at this point in time. I keep buying games I don't have time to play. But my favorite game in the Halo series is Halo 4. No, a lot of people don't like this one because this is the first one where Bungie did not develop it. 343 Studios did, but I really got, like, emotionally into the story of this one because of the whole death of Cortana thing. And when it happens at the end, like, I was crushed. Like, I was like, no, why? And then, like, they give you that tease at the very end of Master Chief going to take his helmet off. I absolutely love this one. I had the most fun playing this one. It kept on having really cool twists and turns in the story. Like I said, I was emotionally involved in it, which rarely ever happens to me with games. So, yeah, this one is my favorite. I could go back and play this every time. And plus, as good as the graphics that Bungie was doing with their Halo games, this one was like a huge step up. Like, 343 Studios was like, we had to prove ourselves with this. And that opening cinema with that older doctor woman, like, it was, like, my brother was watching this. My brother's not really a video game person. He was watching that cinematic with me because he was visiting from LA, and he was just like, that's almost photorealistic, dude. He's like, I don't know how that's happening. I was like, yeah, I know, right? So, Halo 4 is my favorite in the series. Then there's Halo Reach. I have played this one. I've never beaten it. I was playing this multiplayer, actually, with a couple of friends, and the funny thing was, I was so tired. I had, like, no sleep the night before because at the time I had an ulcer. And I had no sleep the night before. I had gone to see a play with these friends of mine that another friend of mine was actually in. And I had to wake up so early just to get ready to go to that when we came back to my place, they were like, hey, let's play some multiplayer Halo Reach. So we're playing it, and we're about half through the game, and I literally fell asleep on the couch with the controller in my hand. And my friend, like, smacked me in the shoulder. I was like, what? He's like, dude, you were snoring. I was like, how was I still playing the game? He's like, I don't know, but you were still killing shit. So it was just weird. But I need to go back and finish Halo Reach. I'm ashamed at myself that I've never beaten it. And the last Halo game I have is Halo Wars, the limited edition. This is the Steelbook edition. Has Covenant on one side and the Marines on the other, or the USMC. What does this come with inside? I forget because it's been a while. Let's see here. Open this thing up. And For starters, I have a coaster, like a rubber coaster. Okay. Some character cards, I think. And this Halo Wars Genesis, I think it's an art book. Yep. Oh, it's a comic book. It's a Halo Wars comic book. Happy day. That's awesome. So, yeah. And I got this on a discount. I got this at GameStop. Somebody had, like, bought this. Shit! Somebody bought this and, like, a week later sold it back to the store. And I happened to walk in there just as they were putting, like, the box on the shelf. Like, this big, oversized box. And I was just like, oh, shit, give it to me. And I'm like, okay. So, I was not really big into strategy games at all. And what got me back into them is a game you'll probably see, I think, on the next video. Yeah, next week you'll see it because it's in a later letter. And Halo Wars is the natural extension of that. It's a real-time strategy Halo game, and I absolutely found that fascinating. I was like, I am so glad that people are willing to do other things with Halo other than making first-person shooters. Because there's so many different ways you can play this game. Then there was like that Spartan Assault or whatever. That was like a twin-stick shooter, which I thought sounded fantastic. Still haven't played that. Oh, thank you, Musty. Yeah, and this is only half of my collection, LV. That I could not pass up Halo Wars. So it's a fantastic game. I have part 2 for the Xbox One. Still haven't played it because I'm stupid. But I will get around to doing that. Pick this up from the Square Enix clearance sale also. Got this at the same time. I do believe I got those 2 Final Fantasy games. And that's the Hitman HD Trilogy. It's still sealed. It's super good. More amazing cutscenes. Yeah, I need to play it. I really kind of want to play through Halo Wars again because I don't really remember it very well. Because I remember I played through it like real fast because I was so into it. But like I guess I played through it so fast I just didn't really commit anything to memory. So this trilogy contains Hitman 2, Silent Assassin, Hitman Contracts, and Hitman Blood Money. I have a guy that I work with who is like obsessed with these games. And I tried the original Halo, or the original Hitman, I think, on the Xbox. It was Hitman 1 or Hitman 2, I don't remember. And I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. And I didn't realize that it's like you play the game as you want to play it. You're given this objective. You can make it happen. You have to choose it. As long as you do it, you can do it any single way you want. You can do it guns blazing. You can do it stealthy. You can do weird things with background stuff. I just didn't know that that's the way these games are supposed to be played. I was just like, I'm just going to run through and shoot everybody, and then I kept on getting killed, and I was like, this game sucks. But now, I've heard all these stories from this guy that I worked with who was like super obsessed with Blood Money about how he would like do these missions and like, oh yeah, like I poisoned this thing and that caused this, and I was like, he was causing like Rube Goldberg things to happen, and I was like, that sounds kind of awesome. So when I found this on sale on that website, I was like, yeah, give it to me. I'll finally be able to play this stuff, and now I know what I'm doing. But it's still sealed. Haven't had a chance to do that yet. Like, you should be surprised. Just got this last month, and I talked about it in my pickup video for February, and that's The Incredible Hulk. I did not know that there was a version of this game available on the 360. I knew there was one for the PS2, but I never knew that it came out for the last-gen systems also. So went to the local exchange, see what they had, because they always have interesting stuff there, and I saw this in the case, and I was like, that. And this is also the GameStop exclusive, because you can play as Red Hulk in this. But it's like a 3D beat-em-up as the Hulk, and pretty much every single game I've played based on the Hulk has been pretty fun. Even the one based on the Eric Bana movie is pretty fun. Only one I'm not a big fan of is the Incredible Hulk that came out for like the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, and it's kind of just like boring. Got this at Gen Con, and we had to search for the manual for this. Oh no, the price. So I picked this up. There's like okay, so I've talked about it before at Gen Con, which is a board game and card game and tabletop RPG convention. It's from like Thursday. I think it lasts from Thursday to Sunday in August, like the first weekend of August. They have an auction room in there. If you have like board games and movies and like video games and stuff you don't want anymore, they have this auction. You bring it there, tell them what you're willing to have it, like the least amount of money you're willing to sell this thing for, and they'll auction it for you. If people want it, they'll bid on it, you get money. If you don't want to auction it, they have a consignment store attached to the auction room where it's basically just you walk in there and you can just buy this stuff outright. One year, the first year that I decided to start doing that was when I was collecting games. I went in there and I found a ton of stuff, video game stuff, nonstop. I found Sega CD stuff. I found Super Nintendo stuff. I found NES stuff. It was crazy. I got so many pickups there. Then the following year, I was expecting the same thing to happen, and it really didn't. That year, there was like no video game stuff there at all. There was a couple of random games, like Infinite Undiscovery, and usually there was like a piece of paper on the back that would tell you the price. Well, the piece of paper was not here. So I brought it up to the counter with a couple of other games that I bought. I think I got Prince of Persia, Sands of Time for the OG Xbox, and which I got for like $1.50 or $2 or something, and something else. Oh, it was a Fairy Tale Adventure for the Genesis. I got that there also. And the guy was like, well, where's the price? I'm like, I don't know. I did not see the card on the back. So me and this old dude that was running the register are like sifting through all this video game stuff over there trying to find this dinky little card. It took about 10 minutes, but we finally found it. And this game was $1. What's up, FG? How's it going? I won't ban you, man. It's an RPG. Have not played it yet. It's an RPG, of course. And the last game I'm going to talk about... See, you always show up right at the very end, FG. The last game I have to talk about today is a licensed game based off of something... I think he just came up with it on his own. It's not based on a book. One of my favorite authors is Clive Barker, and there's this game called Jericho that's based off of, I think, an idea of his. And it's a first-person horror shooter. And just like the Todd McFarlane's Evil Prophecy that I have for the PS2, this did not get great reviews. Because it's like, why? They have no business making video games based off this stuff. Like, they should just stick to books. And Todd McFarlane should stick to comic books. But it's actually not too bad. It's a horror first-person shooter. And I love horror games and I love first-person shooters. So it's like two tastes that taste great together. So I'm all over it. Yes, I am a hoarder. Take a picture. Yeah, and it's not too bad. It could be better. Definitely could be better, but it's not crap. And that is it for the first half of my 360 collection. First half. And you see these stacks. I mean, I'm touching the top and you can't see my hand. So like I said, this is only the first half of my collection, and the last game I'm talking about today is Jericho in the J's. That's like, what, 10 letters, 10, 11 letters into the alphabet? And this is half of my collection. Super beginning of the alphabet heavy. Don't ask me why, it's just the way it worked out. I shall endeavor to get some more games later in the alphabet to even things out. Whatever. So stay tuned. Next Thursday, I will be back with the second half of my collection. There's a lot of cool games in the second half of my collection. Most of them I've played. That's a plus. Going to definitely be coming back out with a games I'm looking for at the Midwest Gaming Classic this year video, and it will be fantastic. I have some interesting things I'm looking for this year. Definitely going to be having a bunch of videos based on what my experience is at the Midwest Gaming Classic. There's definitely going to be a live stream about all the pickups I get. The panel that I'm going to be on this year with Musty Hobbit here. The Game Grinder, Corpse Flood Gaming, Captain Algebra, Rising Blue Phoenix, and JLove81. That video will be up also on my channel at one point. Also got that top 10 NES game video response from Captain Algebra to work on. My Retron 77 review, which I just keep putting off. I don't know why. Also my Diamonds in the Rough licensed games video. I need to start editing some stuff together. Maybe this weekend if I have some time. I don't know if I will because I'm hanging out with some friends. Crap. When am I going to have time to do this? And I got a podcast to record too still. Shit. Too busy. Too busy for my channel. Don't ask me why. But stuff's coming. Don't worry. There's content coming. There will always be these live streams. Well, until I run out of games to talk about. Shit. Anyway. So stay tuned. Like I said, there's some content coming eventually. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you, everybody, for coming. What should you play tonight? Retro only. All I got is retro. The Immortal on the Genesis. Do it. So, like I said, thank you, everybody, for coming. I really appreciate everybody sticking around for the entire video. This is like an hour and 40 minutes of me talking about Xbox 360 games. That's freaking crazy. So stay tuned. Like I said, next week is part 2. So I will talk to you all later. Have a great evening. Chris, the old-ass retro gamer, signing off. Have a great night.